Welcome back to the 8th concession. My name is Natalie. Well, it's a beautiful day today after we had another couple of days of cold temperatures and even some snow, but you can see it didn't stay on the ground, and it's going to be a lovely day today. I think going up to 8 or 10, and then the rest of the week it's going to be double digits all the time, so that's going to be really nice for me to finally get out into this garden. But before I do, I thought I would catch you up on some of the things that have been going on here on the 8th concession. I have to apologize, as I do all the filming myself and I don't have anyone to help me with that. Sometimes things move so quickly here that I forget to grab the camera. So a bunch of things have changed, and I also want to see the shape that my garden is in before I start gardening, probably tomorrow. It's still below freezing right now. It's going to warm up this afternoon, so I can't really get my hands in the dirt yet. But I can have a good look around to see what needs to be done. So come with me, let's have a look and have a chat and get caught up. Well, the first thing I need to talk about are the chickens. Nothing bad has happened to them. It's just we made a tactical error. And here's the backstory. So the flock that we have, the flock that you see in the videos, that is actually a combination of two flocks. We had some older chickens and we lost quite a few of them. We were down to 7 or 8, I guess. And so then we bought 6 new hens, and we went through the process of introducing them to the flock. And what we learned from that is we are never doing that again. That was a nightmare. The chickens did not get along. We did all the things you were supposed to do. We put them up against the coop for a while in a separate little hutch so that they could, smell each other. We doused them all with scent so they all smelled the same. We did everything, and it was terrible. Oh, there goes the ducks flying by. I think they're heading to our pond. And the older ladies were so mean to the new ones. It was so bad at one point they wouldn't let them eat or drink, and I'd have to go into the coop, into the run of the coop, and stand there and keep the old ladies sort of under where the run goes under the coop, keep them under there to allow the new ladies just to eat and drink. I mean, it was terrible. We're pretty convinced we will never do that again. Now they're okay now, but they are definitely at the bottom of the pecking order, even though they're younger. So over the winter, I mean, it's well known that chickens lay fewer eggs over the winter. And here on the 8th concession, we don't use artificial lights. We figure if the hens need to conserve, protein for keeping warm or energy throughout the winter, then we should allow their bodies to do that. So nature knows best kind of thing. So we don't put in artificial lights. So egg production typically goes down over the winter. Now, the younger hens, it doesn't go down very much, but the older hens, it absolutely does. So we were down to 2 or 3 eggs a day out of 11 hens. And anyone who has chickens also knows that after their first molt, when they're about a year old, the egg quality sort of changes. Not so much inside, but outside. The shells, they get rougher. We call them lumps and bumps appear. So they're not as pretty, which is the sad reality of farm chickens, where after the first year, after they start to molt, they actually cull them, which I find horrific. But people don't like to buy eggs that don't look perfect, just like they don't like to buy fruits and vegetables that don't look perfect. It's something we all need to get over. Anyway, so the hens were laying only a few eggs. They were lumpy and bumpy. And Craig and I in the fall thought, okay, I think this spring we need to invest in a new flock. The older ladies are about 4 years old now, and then the 6 that we introduced are about 3 years old now. And this particular breed, the red sex link, they live for about 2 to 5 years. They're bred for great egg production, and they are the best egg producers. But for that, I think they don't live as long as perhaps some more heirloom breeds. So they're coming up, they're on 4 years and 3 years. And so we thought, I think it's time for a new flock. We'll order a new flock for the spring. By then, I'm sure some of the older ladies anyway will have gone to that big coop in the sky. So it'll work out fine. We'll probably only have 6 left. And the plan was for Craig to repurpose the sort of the coop or hutch that we used to introduce the 6 ladies, repurpose it, rebuild it a bit bigger for, 6 hens or so, and let them live out their lives in that. Well, that's not what happened. This is what happened. The 11 hens said, no, we're good, thanks. I think we'll just hang around. We didn't lose any chickens. And so now we were heading into the spring where we were getting 12 new chickens, and we still had all 11. And the little sort of makeshift coop that Craig was going to make wasn't going to work. And so in the middle of tax season, and for those of you who don't know, Craig is an accountant, and right now this time of year is just brutal. I barely see him. He's so busy. He had to somehow fit into building a coop in, because now we had the new ladies going in the old coop, and now we have the old ladies in a new coop. And Craig, he can't build something shoddy to save his life. He built this beautiful, beautiful coop, which I will show you now. It is not quite finished. There are some things on it that he just couldn't get to, but it was finished enough we could move the ladies in, and they're comfortable and safe, but they're here on the side of the slug hut. And for those of you who are new here, the slug hut is the name for this building. This is a Quonset style barn that came with the property when we bought it about, I guess it's almost 6 years ago now. And when my oldest daughter saw the listing photos, she said, that looks like a giant white slug. And so it has the nickname the Slug Hut. It is actually our barn. So the ladies had to be in the barn for a while, in the Slug Hut, because that's where Craig built the coop. But they've moved out now to the side, but this is not where they're staying. We have to move them all the way down and around the corner to where the other coop is. So they're going to be sort of side by side. We're probably going to do that this weekend when our children all come for Easter, our grown children, and we have some muscle power to do it. But in the meantime, the ladies are living right here. The older ladies, they're calling for their treat, so I better see to them. But let me show you this beautiful coop Craig made. This is a retirement home extraordinaire. Now, what Craig still has to do is he is going to actually hang their feeder and their waterer. He hasn't gotten to that yet. And the door the metal door slides down, but it still needs a string so we can do it from the outside. Are you ladies gonna say hello? Don't they look remarkably healthy for hens we didn't think would still be with us? All right, I'm going to give them their treat and collect their eggs. You can't come out. You can't come out. Here, go get your treat. There you go, ladies. There you go. You can't stay there. And these are the new ladies. Hello, girls. Hello. Come on out. Get a treat. There you go. Come on. Come on. It's a lovely day. There. Some cucumbers, some apples. There you go. Such cute little eggs. We use golf balls to teach them, the new chickens, where to lay, but they've been pretty good about not laying in the coop. So for those of you not familiar with Zone 5B, Southern Ontario, Canada, what is actually happening in April, mid-April, let's have a look around. Some of it's good and some of it isn't. This is the time of year I kind of assess what has happened over the winter. You can see the arbor that we put in the ground last year is doing beautiful. You can also see the pond is quite full. We had a wet summer and then we had a ton of snow this winter, and the pond is actually very, very high. That's not where the edge normally is. The edge is normally there. I didn't have the camera running, unfortunately, at the moment because over here you can see there is the big run and there is the old coop where the new ladies are. When I went over there to start collecting, giving them their treats and collect the eggs, a pair of mallard ducks flew off the pond here. So they might be nesting on the far side there. I hope so, but ducks are very flighty. If they see or hear anything, they take off. So here, the pond is too high, so the ground here is wetter than it normally is. Last year, I planted moisture-loving flowers and plants over here, perennials, to give some color, hopefully this spring and summer. Let's see how they're doing. I put blue ribbon on them so poor Craig wouldn't cut them with a whipper snipper. This is an eastern red bud. It is supposed to have really nice pink blossoms, but I don't know, those buds are pretty small. I hope it's not too wet over here for the eastern red bud. Somewhere in here I planted wild bergamot, but it died even last year. It might come back, but I don't know. This here with the blue ribbon is turtle head. Now it likes moisture, which is a good thing because that pond edge has been creeping forward. It bloomed with these really nice red flowers last year. I'm assuming it's going to come back. I've never had it before. I don't know if it grows. Oh, look. Actually, I don't know if you can see that. Right there. I think that's a new shoot. So I think it doesn't grow on old stalks, on the old stems. I think it grows new from the bottom. So I'll come in and clean this out, give it some room, but I'm pretty sure it's coming back. This blue ribbon over here and this cage right here, this is a cardinal flower. Again, the grass has taken over. I'll dig down and see if that's coming back. And this is a blue pencil iris. And I'm pretty sure I can, oh, it's wet here. You can see there the new shoots coming. So the iris is going to do fine. The cardinal flower, I'm hoping it's doing okay down there. Sorry about the chickens. If they see me at all or hear me, they think there are more treats coming. Now, right here, and there are two lilacs. Although this one seems to be leaning a bit, it looks just fine. Nice big buds. And on this one as well. This one they're actually even opening. But over here is the beginning of the not so good. Now this little twig here is something I planted last year. It is my favorite tree ever, which is a weeping willow. Now we have regular willows here. These huge trees right here are willows, but I love the weeping willows. And so I planted one last year here by the water. They love moisture, but look what has happened. The rabbits. I did not wrap this stem which I'm regretting right now. Now willows are pretty hardy. I think it'll be okay. I can see some little buds that seems to be growing, but I will be heartbroken if those rabbits have damaged my weeping willow. And over here by the arbor, there's more evidence of their destruction in my roses. This was a climbing rose I planted last year. It's beautiful with sort of creamy pink colored flowers. Look at it. That has not been pruned, although it looks like it's been pruned. That is all the rabbits, all the ends, the whole thing has been nibbled on. Oh, sorry ladies, I don't have more treats for you. Look at this. Their teeth are razor sharp. And they have really pruned this back. It had grown quite a bit last year. Now, that being said, you can see it's got lots of new growth on all of it. It will be fine, but I'm not excited about the rabbits having a field day. And they didn't stop there. They also pruned this rose, which is a shrub rose. All the ends have been nibbled off. Every last one of them. Now again, let's see if I can zoom in. You can see that it is growing fine and will be fine, but if they keep trimming them back, they're never going to get any bigger. And the same with this rose. Everything nibbled back. And they didn't stop there. They got this rose of Sharon. It has one tall spike, but all of these have been nibbled away. This one is just a short stick now. They got the elderberry. And man, did they do a job on my raspberries. Now, most of them should have been this height. These are ever-bearing raspberries, and so they will actually, sorry, ladies, please. They will produce fruit again on the old canes in the spring, but they've eaten them all. They have trimmed this back, all of it. They've also decimated my blackberries. Also, just like the willow, chewing on the stems. Look at this poor stem here. It's just been chewed and mangled. And the problem with blackberries is they produce berries on their second year canes. So the ones last year that had just 5 leaves, oh my goodness, ladies. The ones last year that put out just a canes with leaves, with 5 leaves together, those this year will come back and they'll have 3 leaves and the berries. The ones that had berries last year, like this one here, you can see the remains, that's dead now and I have to trim that out. But they went after, of course, the ones that are still living. Look at this one here. It's been absolutely chewed to nothing. Now you might think, how can that be rabbits? Look how high up the damage is. Well, that goes back to the winter we had. If you remember some of my videos from the winter, we had a dumping of snow this past year. 2, 3, 4 feet. It was awful. We had to wade through it to actually save the slug hut because it's old and the tarp was sagging and we were trying to take some of the snow load off of it so it wouldn't collapse on us. But what that meant is when the snow is really high, the food that the rabbits might eat in a milder winter when actually the grass is showing a lot of the time, like last winter, or I should say the winter before, they're fine. But this winter, there was nothing for them to eat. It was all under 2, 3, 4 feet of snow. So the tops that were sticking out of the top as the snowbank started to melt became food for them. And that's why they're chewed at the top of the canes. I can only hope that the plants are resilient enough to come back with a good crop of berries and that they haven't eaten all of the good second-year canes that would give me my fruit this year. The raspberries, I'm pretty sure now we won't get any until the new growth comes later in the summer instead of having that nice early spring raspberry flush. What can you do? I mean, they're cute, but seriously. And they also damage one other shrub that I'm really not happy about. And that's this one. It doesn't look like much now, but this is actually a double pink chiffon rose of Sharon. It was a special plant that my son and daughter-in-law bought me for Mother's Day a couple of years ago. It has the most beautiful pink blooms, almost like peonies, and they have absolutely massacred the front of this, so much so that it looks like the whole plant is leaning. But I think it's mostly because they've eaten all of these canes, or all of these stems away. They left a few over here. I'm going to have to come in and prune it back to a better shape. But I am not happy about this. Had I known we would have a winter like that, I would have, protected it more. Other years when it was smaller, I had chicken wire around it so that they wouldn't get at it. But I thought it was big enough this year that they wouldn't touch it. But of course, again, the snowbank made it so that they could reach the top. They didn't touch the black currant. They could have had all of that. But instead they went after my double pink chiffon rose of Sharon. Oh. It's hard not to want to find a good recipe for Hasenpfeffer right now. Here in the garden, I started some lettuce seeds under some cloches to get a head start and give them a bit of warmth. And you can see from here, they're doing great. They're getting their true leaves. That won't take long for them to grow. Same with this one. So the lettuce is coming along. We should be able to eat that in a week or so, I think. Over here, I used some cloches to get a start on some spinach. And you can see it's done its job. And I like mine as baby spinach in soup. So we'll be enjoying that soon. Now, not great germination, but I think that's more to do with the fact that they were older seeds rather than the fact that I planted them in March. Here is another problem, and it's not the garlic, which looks fantastic. It's this hole right here. Now that's not mole, I'm pretty sure that's vole, which means somehow they're getting into this garden. Oh shoot, and I see another hole down here. Here's another entrance down here. So I'm going to have to try and discover where. I kind of think right there is where they're getting in. You can see that sort of bump in the wall. I'll take that apart and look for a tunnel getting in to try and stop that destruction. Here is my tree nursery where I put the trees over the winter to protect the roots from the ice and cold by putting the pots in the ground so that there's protection from the sides so that the roots don't freeze. These here are my asparagus, and then I have cedars, and then I have some Norway spruce back there. Trying to see if I have any asparagus coming. I am determined this year to get the rest of my garden put in. There are 3 more of these raised beds to go in so I can plant these asparagus permanently. I haven't planted them yet because I don't want them in this part of the garden. I want them in one of the new beds. But let's see if we can see anything. You know what? Let's see if I can zoom in. I think that is one right there. I don't see anything else happening with them. But I can see that the cedars are starting to turn green, which means they're coming out of their winter dormancy. And the spruce look great back there. I'll be pulling them out shortly when I'm sure that a hard frost is gone, and that will leave this bed free to plant. And lastly, I'm back at the front of the house. Those chickens can still see me. They still think there are more treats coming. But I wanted to have a look in this front garden. This is absolutely my next chore, and that's going to be cleaning out all the dead things, the dead hostas, getting rid of any weeds, trimming back my peony here. But even still, look at that. My rock cress, which some kind viewer identified for me. I had gotten this ground cover from my mother's garden when she passed away, and I remembered it, but I didn't know what it was. But it is definitely rock cress. And in the middle, what have we got here? Some tulips. Now I am also going to come and put one of the cloches, the wire ones over, which are actually waste paper baskets from Dollar Tree. But I'm going to protect this because those darn rabbits will come and eat the tulips as well. And then we have the daffodils here. They've got buds. It won't be too long before they're blooming. I know in other parts of the country their daffodils are already blooming. And I know out in BC they've got some color. But we're not too far behind. All of those are going to bring me some color. Oh, there's some tulips back there too. That have been nibbled on. I think I have to go get more of the wire cloches. And then right there I can see another clump of daffodils. These are the pink daffodils. Actually, they're more a salmon colored or like a peach colored, but they're really pretty. This is another clump of those same pink or peach colored daffodils. But I see here tulips. I don't remember planting tulips. I must have. That's crazy. Did I buy tulips? Here you can see one of those wire cloches, aka waste paper baskets I was talking about. This is actually a little bit of a burning bush, and the rabbits kept eating it and eating it. And I've had this on now since last summer, and you can see that I finally have it growing. It's actually growing out right here and has beautiful little buds on it. So it's going to be fine. So hopefully I can take that off, but I think I'll still protect that next winter with something. The other one I'm careful to protect is this tree here. I'm not so much worried about the rabbits with this one. This one I'm worried about the deer, which walk all around our yard. And this is my Japanese maple. It was a present from my kids for Mother's Day one year, and it's doing beautifully. And I think it's without damage, so I'm very happy about that. Now, while this does make me itchy to get in here and get the grass out, these are my purple irises. They came with the house. They were here when we bought it, and they're big, beautiful, a lovely shade of purple. And the first things to grow, this is the south side of our house. So I'm going to get out here and clean out the grass that has crept in there. And the other thing, when I prune back this peony, look at all the growth in there. This is a pink peony, and again, an early bloomer. I think it helps that it's on this south side of the house. There you go, the good, the bad, and the ugly of the garden, Zone 5B in April here in Southern Ontario. Things are growing, which makes me so happy, and there has been quite a bit of damage. I'm hoping that the plants will just recover on their own, and I will have to be a little more vigilant next year with the things that I find like really precious to make sure that I prepare for any sort of winter where those rabbits can get at even the top branches. And I also have my plan for this week. I'm going to start cleaning out that front garden so that when the daffodils and the tulips bloom, it'll be lovely to look at. Bye for now.